Hello. Recently, a number of folk have been asking me about podcasts and recording audio and video, and I thought I would put together a quick little overview. But please, if you've got questions, pop them in the chat. If you've got hints and tips that you would like to share with others around podcasting, creating video and getting some content out there, then please do share your wisdom and your questions. Why use audio and video? What's wrong with good old text? Well, it is so much more engaging, and the stats will always back that up. First bit of advice would be just do it. We can overthink the planning and the preparation. So the first thing to do is to create some audio, and you probably want to start just with what you've got on your smartphone. On Apple, you will have voice memos, and there will be similar Android software. And just create a new audio, hit the button and go. I'm also recording this on this iPhone, and what you're hearing now is the audio from the iPhone. Back to the big kit, but you certainly don't need anything like that to begin. You might have a dedicated voice recorder that will record a WAV file, WAV file, or an MP3, or many desktop software applications will let you record audio. Audacity is free, and it is a well-known software. And there we go, Audacity, where you can create audio. I'll just delete that, and then if I hit the record button, you'll see that we're recording audio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and stop. And just in the same way that you can cut and paste text in a Word document, if you wanted to take a piece of the sound, say that section there, we can cut that out, Control X, in the same way that we would cut from another document, then put the cursor where we want it, Control V to paste, and we've got that there. So we can manipulate the audio file and then output it, export it in different formats. So if you haven't already explored Audacity, you might want to do that. Just go for it. Record some audio. And folks say, oh, I don't like listening to my own voice and I sound terrible. You want to concentrate on the 5 Ps. I remember this from voice training at university. The 5 Ps: pace, pitch, power, pause, pressure. We can alter the speed at which we speak to make it a little more interesting, sometimes speaking more quickly and at other times more slowly and thoughtfully. We might think about the pitch of our voice, and sometimes we are way up there and sometimes way down there. But I think the most important of the 5 Ps is pause. Don't be afraid of silence. And when we're comfortable with silence, it's then that all the ums and ahs and filler words can creep in. So we are aware of the different things that we can do with our voice. If we're creating video, we can record that, again, just using the video app on a phone. You might want to get into screen recording, as I'm doing just now, recording the desktop, and different ways to do that. Many will be familiar with OBS, again, free open source software that, as well as enabling live streaming, will also do recordings. If you are in the Apple iOS or iPad infrastructure, then I would thoroughly recommend LumaFusion. I do nearly all my video editing on the iPad using LumaFusion. Again, a very intuitive interface, and you can cut and paste, move things around. You can put in transitions, lots of audio and video effects that can be used there. In Windows, on the desktop, Clipchamp is a free part of the Windows 11 ecosystem, and a fairly simple, straightforward video editing software. With any video editing software, you're obviously also editing audio, and it may seem like overkill, but it often will be simpler to edit audio within your video software rather than having to become familiar with two different systems. If we're thinking about creating a podcast, one of the things you'll need is some graphics. It's always a square graphic that's required for the different podcast platforms. And if you're not already familiar with canva.com, then you certainly want to do that. Canva is free for charities and non-profits. You can arrange that through their website. So I would encourage you to have a look at that, a good way to create graphics. In terms of hosting your podcast, your audio or video, if you're looking at video, I wouldn't look past YouTube as the go-to place there. Obviously other options are available, but YouTube, many people using that and will be familiar and will be able to watch your content. In terms of audio podcasting, this is where this video all began, when I realized, as I was explaining to someone else how they might set up a podcast, I'd set one up years ago using a WordPress website and some plugins, and trying to recreate that just now, realized that there are actually simpler ways now, and I would suggest going with Spotify. Anchor podcast is now part of Spotify, and over half of the public podcasts are hosted by them. So Spotify, if you Google Spotify for podcasters, you'll get to the right page. Fairly intuitive. If you're interested in seeing a complete walkthrough of how to set that up, pop that in the comments and we will see what we can do. But it is very intuitive, and once you've set up the show, it's then just a case of adding in the individual episodes, giving them a title, a wee bit of blurb, what sometimes is referred to as the show notes, and you'll be asked for a few tick boxes about the content. So there's a quick whistle-stop tour around some issues around podcasting, audio creation and video creation. One of the most important things to do is to keep things up to date. Most podcasts last a couple of episodes and then fizzle out. Do keep things up to date. So if you have any questions, comments around any of this, please ask them. If you've got some hints and tips, if you think there's a much better way than something I have just said, then please share that with others. Thank you very much for listening, if you're still listening now at the end. Bye just now.